Hi, my name is Sean. I work at GoDaddy, and today we want to talk to you about getting a website online in 5 simple steps. So here at GoDaddy, we believe that every small business deserves a website. And that's kind of our fancy way of saying that the web isn't difficult. Getting a website is not rocket science. So let's go over what the 5 steps are today. We're going to talk about getting a website address, or what we call a domain name. We're going to talk about outlining your website. So it kind of is putting the rough architecture together, right? The straw man, we like to call it, right? And then you're going to choose how you build it. And it's important that you put together what your website will be, what the pages are, before you choose how you'll build it. And we'll explain why. Then you're going to create your content. You're going to pull a Shakespeare and take your pictures, write your content. And that can be really, really difficult. And we're going to try to give you some tips on making that easier. And then you're going to publish and promote it. And this is the exciting part, where you get to tell everybody about it. And you get to go onto those social networks and make sure people know about you and know what you have to offer for the world, what your unique vision is, what services you have. So let's get started. The first step is to get a website address. And technically, this step is really, really simple, right? You just go to GoDaddy.com. You do a search. It's always right there, right on the home page. And you can do a search for the web address or the domain name that you want for your business. Now, artistically or strategically, this can be challenging when you go to look for it. And the reason why is because there's only a certain number of .com addresses and only a certain number of .org or .net addresses. So if I set up a business in Helena, Montana, and I want to sell flowers, okay? Which would be a fantastic business, selling flowers in the mountains in Montana, right? But beside that, I set up a business in Helena, Montana, and I want like helensflowers.com. And if I go and I do a search for that on GoDaddy.com, I may not have Helen's Flowers, right? It may not be available. And so I have to come up with another name or another strategy. And there are 2 things that you could do. One, you could change the name of your business based off of whatever you find that's on there. Or you could kind of change the domain name based on your location, or even buy another ending on the end of it. So you have .com, .net, .org. There's also .me, .co, .us. And those are other things that you could try. Or you could simply try, instead of Helen's Flowers, I could try helensmontanaflowers.com. And that's still easy to remember. And that brings us to the next point on web addresses. You want to make sure that it's repeatable, that it's easy to spell, that people won't misspell it, right? I know for me, there's a number of words that I continue to misspell. So if you put that in your business name, I may mistype it. You may have to buy both of those domains to make sure they get to the right place. But the best thing you could do, if you can find it, get a 1-word domain name or one that has 2 words or 3 words. Still easy to remember. Still easy to say, still easy to rattle off if you're standing in that elevator, right, doing your pitch to make sure somebody can find you. Right? That's what you want to put for your domain name. Avoid the hyphens, avoid complicated long names, unless it's just a joke that you're going to give to your brother, right? So keep it simple, keep it straightforward, and you might have to tweak it a little bit when you go to search for those domain names, okay? All right, let's move on to the next step. The next step is to outline your website. Now, we recommend 5 pages for your website, especially when you're getting started, but even as you develop. And the reason why is because you want to keep your website as simple as possible. You don't want your users to get lost. You don't want them to get confused, right? Because what's your goal? Your goal is for visitors to come to your website, learn about your business, and become customers. Your goal isn't to get them to your website and get them lost, right? It's not like taking them into a casino and they kind of wander around. You're like, yeah, I got them, right? Because they're always 1 click away from leaving. So these are the pages that we recommend. And we'll go over what each of these should be. There's a home page, an About Us page, a services page, testimonials, which I love, get customers talking about you, and your contact page. So your home page, this is the main question for you, right? Okay, I found you, right? You look awesome. Now what do you want me to do? And this is what we call the call to action on the homepage. And the call to action is the one thing, maybe 2, but the one thing that you want them to do once they find you. And so for you, you have to avoid the temptation of writing something on there like, hey, I'm really excited I'm on the internet. That's not a call to action, right? That's telling everybody and the people that found you that you're really excited you're on the internet. And lots of people do it. I did it with my first homepage, right? So you want to come up with something to direct them. So if you're a small business, in this particular case, you could do a call for quote, a buy now and save, make a reservation, donate, right? Especially if you're a nonprofit, watch demo, schedule an appointment, register now, call us for more information. So I have an idea. This is my idea for a small business. I would love to get this started. And so my idea is to start a small running shop called Pancakes and Running. So if you come in, you can buy running shoes, and then we reward you for buying running shoes with a stack of pancakes. It's beautiful. I know if you steal it, let me know about it, because freely take it. I'm just excited to see a running shop with pancakes, right? And so in my particular case, for this particular store, right, the call to action is just to show up. So I just want you to come to my store. Like, I'm setting up in a small town, right? Not somewhere really large. And so as people find me, and as the word spreads about this crazy place where you get pancakes after you buy running shoes, then I want people to be able to just pull out their phones. I want people to go home and search for me and just come and see me, right? I'm on your way home from work. Stop by today, right? And that's my call to action. But it could be perhaps you want them to sign up for a newsletter. Perhaps you want them to use a special deal. I could put coupons on here later, and that becomes my call to action. Stop by today and save $25. Stop by today and get pancakes before you buy your shoes, right? And I could put that on there as well. Okay, so the next page is the About Us page. And this one's really exciting. I'm a creative writer. I majored in creative writing, so I love telling stories. And this is your chance to tell your story. So the About Us page really builds credibility. So we want you to tell the world a little bit more about yourself. We want you to tell them your story, okay? And be passionate about it, right? So in this particular case, this is it. I have a picture of my son on here because that's important to me. That's my story, right? I love to run with my son. I love to run with him, mostly because he thinks he's crazy fast, and I let him think that whenever I go running with him. He gets really excited. But I want everybody else to also know that I have a family, and that's part of my passion. And this is a family business. So when you stop by at Pancakes and Running, he's over in the corner flipping the flapjacks, right? So I want you to know that about me. I also want you to know what my vision is for my store. I want you to know why I'm in it, right? That health is really important to me, that running is really important to me, right? That small business is really important to me, okay? And so likewise with you, if you could be somebody that maybe you're just maybe you're an attorney. Maybe you're somebody that sells cards for a living. Maybe you're somebody that sells auto supplies for a living. And there's a reason that you're in that business. There's a reason why you're doing it. And there's a reason why you care about what you do. And this is where you want to make sure people know about it. And this helps gain their trust. And on the internet, you can't do the handshake and look them in the eye. This is your best bet. Tell your story. Tell your story. So the next one is services. What do you do? Right? This is where you can get descriptive on the things that you have to offer them. So if, again, auto supply place, here are the things that we offer, right? If I'm a restaurant, what's the thing I'm going to put up there? A menu. Absolutely. If I'm a running store, I want to put the types of shoes that I serve. So in this particular case, right, I kind of have both, which is really exciting, a little complicating, right? Food and shoes. Sounds like heaven, right? It does. I know. That's what it's going to be like. And so on one side, I got the food, right? I got my shakes, and I got my pancakes are going to be on there all the way down. And then on the other side, I've got my shoes. So the different types of shoes that I offer and what the price ranges are when you come into the store. Now, this is just describing the things that you offer them. So they know, right? Before they come to your store, or if they're going to purchase online, what am I getting, right? So that's important. And this is your opportunity to put this here, right? And notice I don't put this necessarily on my homepage. My homepage is reserved for my call to action. Now, if there's one thing that I want them to buy, maybe I've just got a lot of those really huge, cushy shoes, and I really want to sell those really huge, cushy shoes before the next shipment of really huge, cushy shoes come in, right? So I would put that on my homepage. But on my services page, I'm able to list everything out. It's kind of my menu for what I have to offer the world. Okay? So the next one, testimonials. This is your opportunity to have other customers brag about you. And I don't want you to overthink this. There are many different places you can get testimonials. The easiest place to get a testimonial is to ask one of your customers, right? So when they come in and they're really excited, and they walk out and they ring the bell and they think that the service was great, ask them, stop them, ask them, right? What was great today? Was your food really great? Did you like the really cushy shoes, right? Was the service fantastic? And as they answer those questions, let them know, hey, can I use this on my website? Can I put this up as a testimonial? Can I quote you on that? And most customers will be more than happy to do it. It's kind of like becoming famous, right? You're on the internet. You're on my homepage, right? Especially if there's somebody that loves you and loves what you do. So just ask them. And even if you're not going to ask customers, right? Ask friends, ask family members, ask other people that have interacted with you to get testimonials. And another really powerful place that you can go to get testimonials are on all of the free directories online. Now, you've got to register with them, right? So you've got Yelp and Google Places are two perfect examples of it. You register there, and as people talk about you, and as people recommend you, and they give you the 5-star rating or the 4.5, right? Those stingy 5-star givers, right? So they give you those ratings. They write up those testimonials. And not only can you engage with them in those free directories online, but you can also take those testimonials and use them on your website. So I only have a couple that are here and no stars or anything like this, but they love pancakes and running, right? After they moved from Mississippi, or this side of Mississippi, and I came to work after a couple times a week just to hang out and talk with the crew. And so these two, where did I get them? I asked them, right? I asked them. That's how you get them. All right, on to the last one. So this one here is to contact us. So you've found me. Now how do I get a hold of you? Now, there are a couple different ways that you could go about this. For me, I'm just starting out. Again, all I want you to do is show up. I want you to come and see me. I want you to stop by the store, and I'm going to have a kid dressed up in a Chewbacca outfit, and all my friends are going to be there, and it's going to be great, and you're going to love us. So stop by. But for you, maybe it's just a contact form. Maybe it's something that they fill out. And so then they can email that to you. They just have to hit submit. It shows up in your inbox, and now you have that feedback from your customers. And you also have their email address, so you can converse with them later, right? Maybe it's on social networks. Maybe on here I just have the links to my Facebook and my Twitter, my Pinterest, my Instagram. It just links over to those so that I can contact you. So when you follow me, I can see, oh, you're somebody that's just interested in what I do. But make sure that you have a way that you can start the conversation with your customers, so that you can start the conversation with potential customers. Make sure that that's on your website as well. So, okay, this is the structure. These are the 5 pages. Now, once we've decided that, and we know what we're going to put on there, right? In this case, I don't have a blog that I'm putting on there. I don't have a lot of other fancy pages, but I need to decide how I'm going to build it. And so at GoDaddy, we have 3 different types of solutions for you for building your website. Now, the first one is for those of you that really want to build it yourself, and you can. I guarantee that you can. Everybody can, right? My mom can, my dad can, my kids can, right? Everybody can do it. It's easy to do. That's for the newbie, okay? And then the one that gets a little bit more powerful and a little bit more complicated, that's the do-it-yourself techie, right? Those are the ones that have had computers for years, or they just really want to learn it all, okay? And then the final one is to do it for me. So you can hire somebody to do it. And we've got a great program, a great team of people that will build a website for you and help you out that way. So what I want you to do is think a little bit about websites the same way you think about your house. Okay? So your web address is the same as your address to your house. So I live at 12345 North Elm, right? So that's my domain name. Okay? Now I have many different options on how I build my house. Okay, so one way I could build my house is, I could have somebody just come in and build it, like a tract home, right? Or it's already built. So I just buy it, and the house is already there. And then I just have to come in, I have to paint the walls and everything, and move in the furniture. And that is the newbie, right? That is the do-it-yourself. I'm brand new to this, okay? So what you start with, the same as a house, is I start with a structure. I start with a template. I start with a house that already looks great. I think it looks wonderful. Just want to make a few changes, right? So with this particular case, you don't need any of the technical skills. You're able to get online, and you get started quickly, and then you fill it in with your own content. So you can fill in that home page and that call to action, and you can fill in that About Me page, right? And you can do all of that without taking down the walls, without changing the plumbing. It's awesome, right? So it looks great, it looks fantastic, and it's your content. It's your pictures that get put on there. And this is a really low cost, really low monthly cost. It's between $5 and $15 a month, and everything goes online. So you don't need to download something and then upload something. It all happens on the internet. So very, very simple to do. And the program that we use, it's called Website Builder, and it's wonderful. And I'm gonna play around with that probably tonight, probably tomorrow, just because I like building websites. All right, so the next one, do-it-yourself techie. So this is where it gets just a little bit more advanced. Now, there is a solution that's kind of in the middle, right, on this. But it does require some technical knowledge, and it's WordPress. Now, I know many of you have heard about WordPress, and you've had your friends tell you about WordPress, and when you ask for a recommendation for a site, they say, yeah, go with WordPress. WordPress is it. So WordPress is wonderful, and the reason we say it requires just a little bit of that technical knowledge is because you can get up and running really quickly and have a website very similar to what we talked about before, where the structure and the walls are all put up there. But there are going to be some things that you want to move in. There's going to be a picture that you want to hang on the wall that you won't be able to do unless you go into the code. And so once you go into the code and you're comfortable playing around with that, then you can put your logo up on the site, or you can move the pictures onto the walls, right? So really powerful solution, but not as customizable, okay? So the way we describe this, the techie route a little bit more, is that maybe you have some blueprints, maybe you have a general idea of what you want your house to look like, but you're going to have to swing a hammer. You're going to have to knock down some walls. You're going to have to do some customizing on your own. So if you're comfortable with that, right, if you're comfortable with those tools, and you're comfortable learning how to do some building on your own, right, for your house, then the technical route is totally acceptable for you, and I would say definitely try it. So GoDaddy has our hosting platforms that make it really easy to install. WordPress, there are multiple solutions for you with hosting at GoDaddy, and we're also one of the top 5 fastest host providers, best host providers in the world. Okay, so the next solution then is get somebody to build the website for you. Now at GoDaddy, we have a team of people. They're amazing, creative people. Little mini shops where they sit together and they build these fantastic websites for our customers. Okay, so they know how to swing a hammer, right? They're the ones that wander around with the tool belts, right? They totally get how to do this stuff, and they use those other tools to build websites for people, okay? So for you, what this means is you have the design, you have the pages, meaning you have an idea of what you're looking for, and then you work with them. So if you were building a house, right, maybe you get one of those packages that shows the cottages that you would like and everything else, and then you hire somebody to build it for you, right? You're still involved, right? You get to see it as it goes through. You get to see the framing of the house. You get to work on the pictures that go up, the couches that move in. That's all the content and the pictures that go on the site, and you work with them to build it. And not only that, like after the fact, right, if you want to make changes to that website, you can, but you don't have to, right? You still don't have to swing a hammer, right? They'll make the updates for you. So every month you have a certain amount of time that you can work with them, and they will update your website. So if you decide that you want to change that call to action on the home page, or there's a little something extra you want to add to your story, or you're selling, that new extra tall stack of pancakes, right? You give them a call, and they can update it for you. So there are many different models for this. In this particular case, that's a month-to-month model, and it's a low upfront cost. They will then be able to build your website for you. Now, there's other places that will then build the website, get all the files together, and then just hand them for you. And that's a lot more money usually up front. And then you have to figure out a way to get it onto the internet, okay? So there's 2 different ways that you could do this. Now, one recommendation, if you do work with somebody to build a website, and they're going to just hand you the files, or they're going to keep the files, whatever they're going to do one way or the other, just make sure that you have access to the accounts wherever those files end up. Okay, so Make sure that you can log in, that you can change them, that you can get them, that you can send them to somebody else, and that you can make sure that they work with your web address as you move forward. We talk to a lot of customers that kind of get in a tight spot with this, just in case your web developer wins the lottery and they move to Madagascar, then you can still update your website. So just a tip. All right, so let's move on to the next part. This is the part that everybody gets nervous about because they see the blank page in front of them and they're like, what am I going to write? What am I going to do? What pictures am I going to take? I don't take pictures. I'm not a photographer. I'm not creative, right? But content is not that difficult. And writing about yourself, right, as it might be a little bit intimidating, it's not that difficult. The one thing that you need to do is just start doing it, right? So start somewhere. So one big tip for all of you out there is to not overthink it and to steal content from yourself. And what I mean by that is you've already talked to somebody about your business. You've talked to friends about it. You've talked to family members about it. You've talked to your customers about it. And in a lot of cases, you've even written about your business. Maybe you did do a small business plan. I mean, maybe you didn't. Maybe you were just describing it in a brochure or putting it on the back of your menu, right? Or maybe it's just in an email that you sent to family members, right? To your partner, to your wife, to your mom, to your dad, to your kids. And you're sending them an email explaining your vision and why you're so excited about the business. Or maybe just to get funding from investors. You wrote about your business. So take that content, open it up in front of you, and add to that. Right? Tell your story. So you write about your story and then you're able to add it. And it's a lot easier to write about your services. It's harder to write about what goes on your homepage and what goes on the other pages. Now, make sure that you don't overthink it. Make sure that you keep it simple, right? You don't want a small novel on there, right? Anywhere between, I would say, less than 300 words if you can manage it. If you're feeling really poetic, keep it under 500 words. But keep your sentences short and to the point. We're lazy when we read, right? We want to figure out what your story is as quickly as possible, okay? So the final thing here, publish and promote. This is the exciting part because you're going to tell everybody about your website. And I mean it. You're going to tell everybody about your website. You've already been doing it, right, for your small business. Now you're going to tell everybody about where to find out more about you. You're going to put it on your business cards, and you are going to put it on your letterhead. You're going to put it at the bottom of your email signature. You're going to create a Facebook page for your business. You're going to go on to Twitter. You're going to be on Instagram. You're going to end up on Pinterest taking pictures of the cool things that you do and the things that fascinate you and the things that tie into your vision. You're going to register on those free directories, right, on Google Places, on Yelp, so that people can find your business online there as well. But even more importantly than all the electronic ways that you could do this, right, you're going to tell people about your business. You're going to talk about your business. You're going to have conversations with people about your business. And you're going to end those conversations with where they can find you. Now, the reason you really want to promote your business when you publish it, the reason you want to promote your website is because the more people that come to your website, the more you can find out about them. This is the beginning of your marketing plan. So you can see where the visitors are coming from. You can ask them questions when they come to your website with a small survey to find out who they are. Right? Who's coming here? What are you interested in? Right? What could I do better to serve you? Right? To create this unique vision of mine. But you can only do that the more people that you can get to your business. Okay, so those are the 5 steps. And that's why I think we believe every small business deserves a website. At GoDaddy, we've been doing this for a long time. And we really, really, truly believe that small businesses can be successful, can get a website up and running, all on your own. Right? Okay, let's get started. So I want to show you just how easy it is to build a website using Website Builder from GoDaddy. So this, of course, I talk about how easy it is, and I talk about how it's for newbies, right? The do-it-yourself newbie category. I don't want you to leave this and go try to do it and go, this isn't as easy as you said it was. It really is as simple as using like a word processing program or a presentation program. So the first thing that we're going to do, right, is choose a template. This is right after I type in what my web address is. So for pancakes and running, I'm going to choose a template. Now I want, in this particular case, I've got a couple options. I got food and restaurant because of the silly pancake thing I got going, or health and beauty, maybe for running. This is perfect. Look at this. I've got this outdoor recreation one. Great outdoors. This is going to be perfect. I'm setting up in the Rocky Mountain area, small town. Great. I want this one. Okay. So creating my site. Okay, now once we're up and running, I go in here, and the first thing I'm going to do is change the name of my website, right? Because the name of my company isn't Great Outdoors, right? The name of my company is Pancakes and Running. Okay, that's the name of it. And that's how I change the text for this. Okay, so that's the name of my company, Pancakes and Running. And it's really that simple just to go in and change the text. So notice it keeps the same typeface. It keeps the same look and feel that's already there, which is great, right? Then I come in here and let's say I want to change the picture. So this one I like, right? Because it's a picture of a running shoe, totally works. It's in the mountains. This tent one, not quite what I'm looking for, right? So maybe I want something more of just somebody being excited, somebody jumping around. So I come in here and I click Edit. I'm going to change the image. Got an image here. I can grab this image here, insert the image. Now the cool thing, once the images are in there, right, is that I can change this image and crop and move it around really easily just by double-clicking on the image. So I can move and crop this image so that I have the person where I want them to be. If I want to, I could zoom the image in and out as well, right? If I want to zoom in or zoom out. And what this creates is just a little bit of a mask. So that, again, this stays in the same template, the same format that it already came with. So it's helping me keep the design, but put the pictures that I want onto the website, okay? So there we are, and we've got the picture on there. Now, one other thing that I want to show you is show you how you add additional things to the page. So let's create another page really quick for our website. Let's say we're getting started with our testimonials page. So I have the testimonials page, and it's blank. I need to add some things on here, and I want to add my testimonials. Well, the way I'm going to do that is just pulling the text over here on the side onto the page, right? So here's my page. I'm just getting set up. So up here, again, edit the same way. So over here on the side, testimonials. Oh, it looks like it's not quite fitting, so I'm going to grab it and pull that out. There we go. Testimonials. We're going to edit again. Subheading. See what everyone is saying. And then down below here, I can write up the different testimonials that customers have about me, add those to the page, and then save my page. And that's really all that it takes. So you drag the elements on and then edit them on the page itself. It's that easy. And if you get stuck, if you run into problems, if you're not quite sure how to take the next steps moving forward, you have somebody that you can talk to 24/7, 365 at GoDaddy. And this is what we do. This is what we've always been doing. So from the very beginning of getting the web address all the way through to building that website, and even then graduating on, adding a blog, doing marketing for your website, there is somebody here to talk to you all the time. So give us a call if you have questions. It's what we do. It's what we've been doing for a long time. It's what we love to do. Thanks for spending your time with us today, and I hope to see you again soon.